Welcome back to Embrace Life with Meghna, episode 5, the podcast where we don't sugarcoat reality. We say it like it is, especially when it's messy, especially when it's invisible. I'm Meghna, a mom, a chronic illness warrior, a woman who have got tired of being told that I don't look sick. Today, I'm ripping the mask off a topic that most people avoid. What it's really like to live with an illness that doesn't show on your face all the time, but controls your whole life. This episode is not just about awareness, it's about truth. About the silent battles that has been happening behind the perfect Instagram smiles. About the millions of us who have been dismissed, doubted, and gaslit just because we don't look the part. If you've ever felt unseen in your pain, or if you've ever been forced to perform when your health does not allow you, this episode is for you. Let's talk about what it really means to survive in a world that only believes what it sees. Now let's talk real for a second. When you think of someone who's sick, what comes into your mind? Maybe someone in the hospital bed, or maybe someone with the cast, or holding a cane, or wearing a chemo cap. But what about that woman standing in the line at the grocery store, looking totally fine, while her body is actually screaming in pain? Or that guy at work who's zoning out in his meetings, not because he doesn't care, but because his brain fog is so bad, he can't even remember what day it is. Here's the wild part. Over 1 billion people around the world are living with invisible illnesses. That's not a typo. 1 in 7 people. And most of them, you would never even know. No visible scars, no sympathy cards, just constant symptoms behind a calm face. 96% of people with chronic conditions don't have symptoms that you can see with your own naked eyes. That's nearly everyone with lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and even long COVID. So the next time someone says to you, "But you don't look sick," you can remind them gently. Illness doesn't always show up in the ways you can see. But that doesn't make it any less than what it is in reality. You know what's harder than living with chronic illness? Acting. Yes, acting like you're okay. Just to make other people around you comfortable. That's what I did. I smiled. I showed up. I performed. And the world kept on clapping, completely unaware that I was barely holding it all together. Let me say this straight. You can't always see invisible illness, but it shows. It shows up in every part of our lives. And let's talk about some facts for a second. According to WHO, chronic illness is the leading cause of disability worldwide. And a huge portion of these, from autoimmune disorders to neurological conditions, are absolutely invisible. In 2023, a global survey said over 60% of people with invisible illnesses have been dismissed or misdiagnosed by healthcare professionals. That means most of us aren't just fighting the symptoms. We are fighting to be believed. Another study showed that over 75% of people with invisible illnesses report mental health struggles like depression and anxiety. Not because of the illness itself, but because of the constant invalidation, isolation, and guilt, which I would personally say I went through when I was clinically diagnosed with depression. That's the part no one talks about. No one sees. The guilt when you cancel plans again and again and again. The shame when your house is a mess because you are cooking dinner which actually felt impossible. The fear of being judged for needing rest. We live in a world that rewards visibility. If you have a cast, people hold doors for you. But if you have lupus, they question your work ethics. If we become experts at pretending, we also become experts at faking energy, hiding the pain, and saying, I'm fine, while our body is screaming. Because what is the alternative? Being doubted, judged, or pitied. Invisible illness is just exhausting because it's invisible gaslighting on a global scale. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that we are not enduring it every single day. So if you are listening and this is your story too, let me tell you, you're not weak. You're not lazy. You're surviving something which most people could never understand. And doing it in silence actually takes more strength than they will ever know. Let's get real about grief. Not the funeral grief, but the daily, silent grief that no one honors. Because when your body betrays you, you mourn more than just your health. You mourn your former life. And here's what most people do not realize. A global quality of life study found that the patients with chronic invisible illnesses like lupus score on an average 40% lower on life satisfaction scales than their healthy peers. That's not a small dip. Economically, invisible illness costs the world over $1 trillion a year in lost productivity, missed work days, and underemployment, according to the reports of 2024. It's $1 trillion tied up in pain no one sees. And here's a kicker. More than 50% of the people with invisible illnesses say they have lost a friend or a relationship because others just couldn't handle the unpredictability of their condition. Think about that. You lose more than your strength and your stamina. You lose trust that people will stick by you. So we grieve. We grieve the career we shelved when the flares got too brutal. We grieve the social life that collapsed under maybe next time. The belief that our bodies were supposed to carry us safely through life without warning us with every risk. That grief is heavy. It's like carrying a second illness, a chronic heartbreak. And because it's invisible, nobody hands you a tissue. Nobody acknowledges that behind your polite, "I'm sorry, I can't," is a person crumbling. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to. The grief is valid. Every cancelled plan, every abandoned dream, every "I'm sorry" matters. And honoring the grief is a part of healing. It's okay to mourn the life you thought you would have had, or you would have. It's okay to feel angry, the rage, sorrow, and then channel that into radical self-care, boundary setting, and community. Because grief that isn't seen can suffocate. But grief that is handled well becomes our power. Now, let me be brutally honest with you. Chronic illness will steal your control if you let it. It will hijack your mornings. It will mess with your calendar. It will make you question your worth, your power, your place in this world. And if you are not careful, it will convince you that you don't get to choose anymore. But listen to me right now, because this is the truth no one will say out loud enough. Your symptoms don't get to own your story. You do. You do. You might not control the pain, but you damn well control what you can do with it. You control how you show up. You control your response. You control the boundaries you set and the battles you stop fighting just to keep other people comfortable. That's not small. That's not even passive. That's power. And don't tell me you don't have it, because I know you do. You're still here, listening, fighting, waking up every day with a body that betrays you and still finding a way to live. That is unmatched resilience. Here's what the world doesn't tell you. In a 2023 Global Invisible Illness Report, 62% of people said they no longer felt in control of their future. 1 in 3 said they would have given up a long time ago, not because they stopped dreaming, but because they stopped believing they had the permission to keep on going. You feel that? That's what happens when you let illness becomes the narrator of your life. Now we are flipping the script today. Because even if your body can't be consistent, your mindset can be. So here's what I want you to ask yourself right now. What can I control today? Where am I giving away the power? Who am I shrinking for? Why? You don't need to wait to feel better to take control. You can start right now, from that couch, from that flare, from that chaos. Start with your words. Stop saying, I can't. Own your schedule. Own your energy. Own your damn boundaries like they are non-negotiable. Because they are. You are not here to be everyone's version of strong. You are here to be your version of unstoppable. Even with chronic illness, especially with chronic illness. Let me make this rule. Not pretty, but true. I didn't survive lupus to be inspirational. I didn't drag myself through the flares after flares, through misdiagnosis, through motherhood with shaking hands and sleepless nights, just to write a quote on Instagram. I'm not here to make you feel any good. I'm here to wake you up. Yes, wake you up. Because if you're still waiting for permission to reclaim your life, it's not coming from anywhere. If you're still waiting to be pain-free before you move forward, you'll be waiting forever. And if you think your illness disqualifies you from being powerful, you've been lied. And lied many times. I've lived in a body that broke every rule, and I'm still doing. And then I broke that one rule that said I couldn't lead, speak, fight, love, create, and command the room because of it. So here's what I know. You don't rise in spite of your illness. You rise with it. You rise with the pain, with the tears that hit the floor between those voice notes, with the medication lined up next to your journal, with the fear that you are going to crash, and the courage to keep on showing up anyways. You rise with your real life, not the polished version, not the one that fits into reels. The messy, terrifying, wholly beautiful version where you are still you, still standing. According to a study in 2023, people with chronic illnesses are 2.7 times more likely to become advocates, entrepreneurs, or community leaders after hitting rock bottom. We are the most underestimated force on this earth because people assume illness is equal to weakness. Then let them underestimate you and then burn through that ceiling they never saw you coming. Because you're not here to be pitied. You're not here to be tolerated. You're here to actually lead a damn uprising in your home, in your voices, in your life. So I'm not here to wrap this episode up in a pretty bow. I'm here to leave you with this. You're not just a part of this chronic illness community. You're part of a revolution. And it's just the start when you stop waiting to be rescued and start claiming your own crown. If this episode stirred something in you, you know that it's not just a moment. it's a movement. You don't have to navigate invisible illness in silence. And there is a space where your story is seen, your strength is celebrated, and your voice really matters. So follow me on my Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel. Links can be found in my bio. Join my WhatsApp group where real warriors connect, share, and rise together. Because healing begins when we stop hiding. This is your safe space, your comeback, your time. Until next time, thank you.